Pragmata is one of those games that feels familiar in shape but fresh in execution. Capcom has taken a sci-fi action-adventure framework and built something that stands out immediately, not just because of its striking setting, but because of the way it asks you to think while you fight. At its best, Pragmata is a smart, stylish and surprisingly charming adventure that keeps finding little ways to win you over, from its character work to its clever level design and rewarding progression systems. Players take on the role of Hugh, a member of an ill-fated investigation team who is aided by Diana, a young android, as they navigate a lunar facility taken over by rogue AI in search of a way to get back to Earth. The biggest reason the game works so well is the relationship between Hugh and Diana. Their dynamic gives the whole experience a real heart, and it is what keeps the story engaging even when the action gets tense. Hugh and Diana are an unusual pair on paper, but their bond grows naturally and the little interactions between them end up being some of the most memorable moments in the game. Diana's reactions in the shelter, especially when she's playing with new items or interacting with the environment, are consistently charming. Those moments never feel like filler, they make the world feel warmer and they give the game a personality that a lot of sci-fi action titles lack. That warmth matters because Pragmata is set in a cold and hostile place. The lunar facility is a great setting full of metallic corridors, strange technology and half-familiar traces of human life. Visually, the game makes a strong impression straight away. The environments are rich, detailed and often genuinely beautiful, with a sci-fi aesthetic that feels sleek without becoming sterile. There is a lot of care in the art direction and the game knows how to make each new area feel distinct. Even though the structure is linear, the level design is clever enough that you're constantly moving through spaces in different ways, discovering alternate routes, backtracking for secrets, and taking in new details as you progress. The pacing also deserves praise. Checkpoints are positioned well, which keeps the game feeling bite-sized and makes failure much less frustrating than it could have been. Pragmata knows how to maintain momentum. It never feels like it's dragging its feet and it rarely overstays its welcome. That is helped by the fact that there is always something to work towards. Whether you're pushing the story forward, finding collectibles, upgrading your equipment or returning to the shelter to improve your base. The shelter is one of the game's best features. Building it up over time is genuinely fun and a constant sense of progression gives the whole adventure a satisfying rhythm. Combat though is where Pragmata really separates itself from the other games in the genre. It is fun, inventive and built around a dual character system that makes you think on your feet. You're not simply running and shooting, you're managing movement, hacking at the same time, and that creates a constant sense of tension. It is easy enough to understand at first, which makes the controls very approachable, but the deeper you get into the game, the more it asks of you. When multiple enemies swarm the screen, the pressure ramps up quickly and things become genuinely challenging. That challenge is part of the appeal. When everything clicks and you're juggling attacks, dodges and hacks successfully, the combat feels incredibly satisfying. What helps combat stay interesting is how much room the game gives you to experiment. Unlocking new perks, nodes, weapons and other upgrades adds a welcome layer of progression, and it also feeds into the game's replayability. There is a strong sense that Pragmata rewards players who like to collect everything and push for completion. Whether it is weapon upgrades, collectible items or new support options that change how you approach a fight, the game encourages you to keep going back and refining your build. That makes the overall package feel bigger than the main path alone might suggest. There are a few flaws though in the Nintendo Switch 2 version. The most noticeable is visual clarity, especially in handheld mode. The game looks good overall, but there is a slight blurriness that can take the edge off an otherwise impressive presentation. It's not enough to ruin the experience, but it is noticeable. Still, these issues never outweigh the positives for me. Pragmata is a game that feels carefully made and even its rough edges are easy to forgive because the core experience is so amazing. Pragmata is a game that is filled with smart ideas, strong presentation and enough hidden depth to keep you invested. The relationship between Hugh and Diana gives it emotional weight, the shelter gives it progression and charm, and the combat gives it a distinct identity. Combined with excellent pacing and thoughtful design, that makes Pragmata stand out as more than just another sci-fi action game. It's a memorable one. By the end, Pragmata leaves the impression of a game that knows exactly what it wants to be: stylish, inventive, and full of small details that make a big difference. It may not be flawless, but it is absolutely distinctive, and that makes it easy to recommend. Pragmata is out now on the Nintendo eShop, priced at $49.99 in the UK and $59.99 in the US. Have you played it yet? And what do you think about it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks to you all for watching, hope you enjoyed the review, and until next time.
gonna upgrade your gear? Getting nutrients from talking? What do you do with this? Should I climb up it? Aw, this slide's too small for Hugh. I wanted to slide down together.